Hi everyone, my name is Neil Aryan. This video is about cloud computing in AWS, and this is the first in a series of videos that will be coming regarding different topics that will be seen in the CCP exam. Let's get into it. What is a cloud? A cloud is a virtual infrastructure that contains computer system resources. Now, virtual infrastructure simply means that it's an intangible infrastructure that exists, in this case, pretty much over the internet. Now, this computer system resources that are stored would be in the form of data storage. It could be compute services, or it could be data transfer services. But in reality, the cloud offers all kinds of things. But for the most part, we're going to be focusing specifically on these three regarding what the cloud offers to your business. Now, what's cloud computing? It's the on-demand delivery of IT resources over the internet with pay-as-you-go pricing. Now we're going to break this statement down for you so you can really get a good understanding of it. On-demand delivery simply means the immediate delivery of goods whenever they are requested by a user, which means whenever your company needs some extra storage, you can simply go to the application and you can request for it and you will get it pretty much within minutes. IT resources could be different services such as a database managed by AWS, and examples of these will come up in future videos, or it could be goods such as compute engines, which are also very important for any business, especially one that deals with site traffic. Now, it's important to also realize that all of this is delivered over the internet, which basically eliminates the need for any physical interactions. This makes delivery easier and cheaper. Not only that, it also makes it quite easy to maintain your service since you don't have to maintain any physical objects. All your maintenance is going to be done over the cloud. And in most cases, AWS will be doing the maintenance of these servers, not you. It also involves pay-as-you-go pricing. And pay-as-you-go pricing is a pricing model that allows customers to pay for only what they use. Now let's take a step back and really get a good understanding of what pay-as-you-go pricing is. Let's take an example here. Let's say this graph represents in the thousands the number of users or number of requests that users make on some application that you own. Now you have to make a decision on premises. You have to make a decision, how much server power should I hold? How many people should I be able to service? Now, there's an upside and a downside to on-premises. The upside here is that when you invest really heavily, you're able to reach out and you're able to help many requests that are made by your customers, with the exception of this many. But the downside is you're paying for a lot of things that you're not ever going to use. You're paying here for 21,000 people when there's hardly 1,000 people, and none at all over the course of 3 months in the year. That's a lot of wasted money that should be going into your business, but is instead being burnt off maintaining server infrastructure. Now, people or companies rather can sometimes combat this. What they do is they'll simply choose to invest in less server capacity. I should be more clear. This blue line represents the server capacity of your company. Now here, although they reduce their overall costs, the downside is they're not really able to tap into their entire clientele. Over here, they're missing out on a lot of customers that would otherwise make these people quite a bit of money. And this will prevent them from going. And what pay-as-you-go pricing offers, you really can choose how much you're paying depending on how much you need. Now, you can see here the way this graph is different from the other two. Instead of making a one-time decision and having to deal with that decision throughout the year, you can actually alter the amount of either data space, compute capacity, or just in general, many other things. You can alter how much of that you want based on how much you actually need. So over here, you're pretty much not paying for anything that you're not using. If there are no customers in November, you're not paying anything in November. And for the months that have really high site traffic, okay, at that point of time, you're going to be paying a little more. But the upside is you're not wasting any of that money. All of that money is going straight into helping your clientele out. Now we're going to be discussing different models of cloud deployment. Now, there's three main models of cloud deployment that we're going to be looking for. When selecting a cloud strategy for a company, there are three things that you really have to focus on. And the three concepts that you need to think about when choosing a deployment model, it's what kind of cloud applications do you require? Do you require a lot of your application to be migrated to the cloud, or do you just need a little bit, or do you not need any at all? Well, based on these, we're going to make a decision. Another thing is the preferred resource management tools. If you're more comfortable using your own company's infrastructure and you don't want to invest and train your employees to now learn a different type of cloud management, that's okay. You can do that. And the third is if you have any legacy IT that can't be migrated to the cloud, there's going to be a different approach for that as well. And the first one that we're going to look at is on-premise. And on-premise basically keeps virtual infrastructure within the company. And what this does is you basically deploy all your resources on-premise, which means you're basically maintaining all of the server capacity, you're maintaining all the servers, whether that be security, making sure that the servers are up and running. If there's any server that goes down, you have to be able to fix it. And this brings up a lot of extra costs that you'd be otherwise not have to pay had you migrated all of your things onto the cloud by AWS. Now, the other model of cloud deployment is cloud-based. In this one, you basically migrate whatever you have in your company and you put it into the cloud and you manage all your applications there. Now, there's many advantages to this, and the 6 outlined by AWS are trade fixed expense for variable expense, which will be seen while studying for the exam as CapEx to OpEx, which is just capital expense to operational expense. Then you benefit from massive economies of scale. And what this means is that now that you're going to be much more efficient in your investments, and that can be seen in the pay-as-you-go pricing example. In here, you're either missing out on a lot of untapped potential and paying for too much. You're basically paying too much and you're not using all of your service, versus here, although saving costs, you're not being able to make as much as you would. Versus with using AWS, you can pretty much pay for exactly what you need and you'll have no deadweight loss here. Which also, you need to stop guessing. You'll be able to stop guessing capacity. In the pay-as-you-go pricing, let's say your company, although you invested very little amount because you thought overall you'd have to reduce costs, all of a sudden your company blows up and you have so much more site traffic. Well, now you need to invest even more, and that's going to take a while to deliver. Well, now you don't have to guess anymore. Because we have on-demand delivery, as soon as you need more storage or more compute service, you can just request it and you'll get it delivered within minutes. Because you can get this delivered within minutes, it really increases speed and agility and allows your company to descale or scale up pretty much whenever it requires to. It also reduces the spending on maintaining physical data centers, since that responsibility will be shifted to AWS. And you also get to go global in minutes, since AWS's infrastructure allows you to reach clientele on various different parts of the world, which you may not have been able to do without this cloud deployment model. However, as we discussed earlier, sometimes legacy IT infrastructure is a must and you can't deploy those on AWS. Well, there's also a hybrid model. And in this, you use AWS infrastructure with on-premise infrastructure. This is most commonly used when there is company requirements of legacy infrastructure that is mission critical to operations. Well, thank you for watching this video. In this video, we covered what is cloud computing, we covered pay-as-you-go pricing, and we covered models of cloud deployment and their own pros and cons. In the next video, we will be discussing the first compute tool offered by AWS. Once again, my name is Neil Aryan. Thank you for watching this video, and stay tuned for more. Please like and subscribe and follow. Thank you.